Hey guys, this is SoFlo Josh and I'm over here at BMW of South Miami to review the all-new 2024 BMW X2 M35i. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get out to the exterior of this new coupe-ified SUV, or CUV as some may call it. So this generation of the X2 has gone away from the hatchback style. The first generation had a more traditional hatchback design, CUV look. This follows suit of what the X4 and the X6 has. So now this model also features this swoopy rear design over here, coming and tapering off in the back with a hatchback design that looks far better than the first generation, if I have to say so. Now getting up to the front, let's go ahead and talk about the front end design. So the new front end design actually mimics very much of the facelift version of the X6, which I actually like because the X6 has a nicely designed front grille and this one actually follows suit with that. And as you can see here with the M35i package, you get these nice horizontal grille design compared to what you would get on the regular X2 M Sport trim level. You also have the iconic glow system here that's incorporated within the grille, and I really do like it. Behind that you have shutters to go ahead and open and close, and over here in the bottom we have a nicely blacked out design for the bottom grille, as well as active shutter in the bottom. Getting over here to the side profile and the side front end, we have these new fully LED headlight designs. Now the other generation, the first generation, actually had full LED designs as well, but I have to say this one, even though it kind of looks very similar to the X1 version, it actually looks better with this front end grille right here. I feel like it's more cohesive, and I overall love the design of it. As well, over here, down here, we have an active shutter to go ahead and go around the wheel well for that aerodynamic purposes. Getting over here to the side, we have 20-inch rims over here, and I have to tell you, these rims look astonishing. I love the gray finish with the aluminum style, and I love the blue calibers. Now you could actually get a red caliber, but me personally, I love blue. Blue is one of my absolute favorite colors. And let's go ahead and step back for a little bit. Let's take in the whole design of the new X2. I have to say, I love the overall design that BMW has done with the body lines. Now in the previous generation, the body lines were kind of wacky, a little bit different, not as cohesive. This generation, I have to say, overall it looks good with these front fender lines going across the whole door towards the back, and then it just, you know, flows better towards the rear. I love this overall design, and especially I like this area here. You can't really see it too much in camera, but there is a nice little haunch right here on the rear fender, and I have to say, really good job on that, BMW. I love rear haunches, and it gives that more aggressive design language compared to, let's say, Audi and Mercedes. They don't really have a nicely done rear end area compared to the BMW. Now getting to the rear, I have to say, I owned a X2 M35i. I love that car, but man, did they improve upon that generation for this generation. And I honestly have to think that it has to do with this whole entire swooping design. It looks so much cleaner. The design language overall fits on this model. Over here, let's get to the rear tail lights. One thing about this generation compared to the previous generation is that this is a full LED tail light design. We have LED reverse, turn signals, and LED lights. On the previous generation, you actually had full LED brake lights, but you had turn signals that were incandescent, as well as the other one. Now let's talk more about that rear design. As you can see, they incorporated a spoiler, and in the M35i it comes up a little bit more. It's kind of like a duckbill design, and I actually love the way they've done this. Now even the base trim actually gets a spoiler. It won't get these little indentations here, but it will come with an actual spoiler at the end. And then down here, let's drop down like it's hot, and as you see here, we have quad exhaust tips. So with the M35i models within the X1 and the X2, you get quad exhaust tips, and now these actually are pretty cool because it kind of makes it seem like it's a full-on M, even though it's an M light. performance model. And then down here in the middle we have a diffuser that actually looks pretty aggressive for what this model is. You know, most of the time, actually, let's talk about the previous generation as well. The previous generation didn't even have a rear diffuser. It was just one line that went across on the rear, and then you have, you know, dual exhaust on either side. You have one in here, one in here. It wasn't like how they designed this one, and I have to say it's just so much more cohesive, a lot better thought out. And I have to say BMW done a fantastic job with the design of this model. So let's go ahead and let's get into the interior of this all new generation of the X2 M35i. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the new X2 M35i. Before I get in, I want to touch on the side mirrors right here. As you can see, the side mirrors now have the incorporated M side mirrors, which is really nice. Every single M Light or M Performance model gets these side mirrors, and you have these little active gills to add with the aerodynamic flow. Getting into the interior, as you can see, the door handles are now like this. I actually like this because this adds less drag around because of the door handles, and it just flows so much better with the design language. Getting onto the interior, let's talk about the door panel really quick. So over here, soft padding, nicely stitched. This is a faux leather design, and then you have these nice, oh, it's even padded here too. It has like a hexagon style finish here all across here and even into the dash right here, and it's even soft touch. It actually feels very premium compared to what other brands are offering out there right now. We also have this nice finished design here. It's like aluminum hexagonal styling, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it says on the BMW website. Here's the door handle, plastic, but it feels very, very nice, and you have a nice grip over here. Soft padding everywhere except for here. You know, even this is plastic. This is always going to be plastic no matter what kind of car you get. We have our speaker here. We have Harman Kardon all around the vehicle. And then getting into the interior, the seats over here are the sports style seats. Now if you go for the M Professional package, you actually get a bucket style seat. It's not carbon bucket, but it's a bucket style seat, and then right here shows the M logo, and I really do like that. But these seats, let me tell you, the bolstering on these seats are so much better, and you can see how plush these seats are compared to what a standard one would be, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go ahead and get into the interior. Stepping in, and it's actually a really nice step in height, even though it is a coupified model compared to the X1 where it's regular CUV design. This just feels better to get in and out. Like the ingress, let me show you the egress really quick. Getting out feels better than what it would be like for the last generation. The last generation, you had to kind of duck your head. It kind of like, you always hit your head. I would always hit my head. As a person who is 6 foot tall, I would typically hit my head a lot. So over here, let's go ahead and turn on the car really quick. As you see, everything lights up. You can hear the exhaust system. Everything is piped in, but that's basically normal within the industry now. As you can see, the climate control is actually embedded in here instead of it being physical buttons. I know some people don't like that, but honestly, the way that this iDrive system works with the 9 version, the 9.0 version, it is so much better. It's snappy, it's fast, it's responsive. Everything just flows better. Even like the GPS system right here, you know, you can see how it's so much faster. And mind you, this does come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. So and it's wireless, which is cool. So that means if you don't want to use BMW's infotainment system, you can actually go ahead and switch that up to your Apple device and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and talk about the center point right here, which is this lovely thick, and I mean thick, with 3 C's steering wheel right here. As you can see right here at the 12 o'clock hour, you have your red stitch, which is pretty cool. It kind of goes towards the motorsport of BMW, where this will tell you exactly where your wheels are aiming. And as of right now, I have my wheels aiming straight, so of course it's going to be straight. You have your paddle shifters over here, which are the exact same as the M4 CS, where it has like little rivets and they're done like with the 3D printing and stuff. Really nice. You also have a boost functionality right here, which is pretty cool for a combustion engine. Usually the boost functionality is used only primarily for the electric models, but it does have it in this model, which is pretty cool. Over here you have a fully digital gauge cluster, and you also have a lovely designed infotainment system. Like I said, this is the iDrive 9 system. It's so much more snappier, so much more better. The everything, the button layout looks so much better. You have all your widgets here. You see you can go to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can look at every other aspect, AM, FM, everything. You can look over here and it's just so much better. You even have hotkeys over here on the side, which is really cool because a lot of brands don't usually do hotkeys, even if they do a full touch screen design like this is right here. They don't do that, but this model does come with that, and I really have to give it to BMW for knowing how to make an infotainment system that incorporates everything and just flows so much better compared to its competition. And over here you have a center vent over here as well, and then you have two for the passenger and then another one for the driver right here. So everything is driver centric. It's towards you, which is really good because, you know, this is a M performance model. You want everything to be aimed towards you. You want that aspect of feeling like you're in a cockpit. You know, you want to drive this car, you know, like you stole it. And you know, that's what you need to feel. I like driver centric designed layouts. I feel like that is better for me. I know some people might not like it, but I like it like that. It's a lot better. So getting down here to the middle, we also have a wireless charger. So if you go ahead and put your phone here, as you see, that's my old M35i right there that I used to own. You can go ahead and wirelessly charge your phone. You have two cup holders here, two USB-Cs with charging and media control down here. You also have a 12 volt right there, and getting over here is where you're going to have all the functionalities for your shifter. Now I'm going to talk more. This shifter is a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. I know, 7-speed dual clutch transmission. Think about that for a second. Not even the full-on M's get a DCT anymore. They get a fully automatic transmission, which is super cool. And this is an in-house based transmission. The previous generation X2 actually had an Aken, if I'm not mistaken, it is the same exact 8-speed automatic transmission from what you would find in a Toyota Camry, which is pretty cool that they actually went ahead and did everything in-house this time around, instead of doing it like that. You have your start stop engine right here. You also have your parking brake right here, your My Modes, which would come over here. As you see, you have personal, sport, and efficiency. You also have auto hold. Your volume control is over here, your backtracks, and then your emergency lights. Getting to the center right here, it's not a huge section right here, but it makes sense because this whole entire area right here is open up compared to the previous generation. And I honestly, I mean, most of the things that would fit right here would probably be pens, or maybe for me, I like fig bars. I'm not sponsored by them at all, but I love fig bars. Fig bars are really cool. You can also put some coins here, and it looks overall really nice. And then getting down here, I think you could fit like a Pop-Tart in this section right here, probably about maybe 2 or 3 side by side. But then you can also put your phone over here, or even like a purse, you know, like a little handbag or purse. And then getting over here, this is the glove box compartment right here. It is you know, damp, but it's not lined with felt at all. It actually has like a nice rubbery feel, so that means that things won't be flying around in there, which I actually like. And like I was mentioning, these seats are very, very bolstered. I don't know if you can see this, but they even go all the way to the shoulder area. So this is really going to hold your passengers in place when you're going around corners really hard. And let me tell you something, this model features a 2.0 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. All right, let's go ahead and look at that. Actually, this one features a 2.0 4-cylinder turbocharged, and it makes 312 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, made it to that 7-speed dual clutch transmission. And over here, as you see, nice little carbon fiber over here. You have your air intake right here, and then you have a strut bar, which is really, really cool. I love the overall way that BMW has done their engines. And this engine, I had it in my generation. It was fantastic, flawless, no issues whatsoever. So this engine is going to be even better. Now that it has 315 horsepower, or 312 horsepower, my bad, and that 295 pound-feet of torque is even going to be better. So let's go ahead and get into the back seat of the X2. And I know most people are asking, how is the headroom of the X2? Now, this one doesn't have the option of the roof right here, the glass roof. Mind you, this is no longer going to be a power operator roof. It is going to be a fixed roof, which is even better, because if you were to go ahead and do a power operated roof, what would happen is all that functionality of it rolling back and coming up and everything like that would eat into the headroom. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the rear a little bit. So soft padding all around, really nice as well. Soft padding for this everywhere, it's softly pat. I love this material here, it feels super nice. Harman Kardon, like I said. And then getting into the back seat, I have it positioned exactly where I would sit. So getting into the back seat, I do hit my head just a little bit, but that's normal with these Coupe CUV models. They're typically like that. They're always gonna have eating up in the headroom. But I will say, sitting up very, very tall right now, I actually have about an inch left of headroom, and I'm 6 foot. So imagine if you're probably, I would say 6'2", maybe you would hit it. But I mean, you can always slouch forward a little bit and you can gain about 2 inches, or 2 to 3 inches. Like right now I have about 2 inches left of headroom, which is really good. Back here we do have vents for the rear occupants, 2 USB Type-Cs, and a little pocket area down here. Getting over here, we do have 2 cup holders, which is great. I like how BMW actually incorporated the cup holders here instead of doing a flip out where it comes out like that. I personally like when brands do that. And everything else, like I said, you also have some lighting back here, which is great. LED lighting for fact. And then back there you could see that there is a partition tray right there to cover up any kind of stuff that you have in the back. You also do have your middle seat latch, which is great, and also it's magnetic, which is good as well, because a lot of brands don't do that. They don't do the magnetic feature here. So that's really cool that BMW decided to go ahead and do that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the trunk area. And I know that some people have been wondering. Now, this generation of the X2 is actually 7.6 inches longer than what the previous generation was. So what that means is you're going to be getting a lot of trunk space compared to that previous generation. So getting into the back over here, you flip it up just like the previous generation, and like the X4 and I believe the X6, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, you have a partition tray right here, which is going to cover up everything. And as you can see, it's actually deeper compared to the previous generation in the X2. You also have hooks over here for any of those bags. So you have grocery, milks from Publix, not sponsored by them either. Getting down here, you actually have another storage area. It does not give you a spare tire. This actually is completely open, so you could put more stuff in here, and which is a great thing. Like for example, I believe that you can actually put a baby stroller in here, a small baby stroller. You could fit it right in here on an angle straight across, and it would actually fit, which is pretty cool. So but the overall height of this is actually really good, because this is going to help with getting things in and out without having to hit your head. At 6 foot, I feel like I'm not going to even hit my head at all in this functionality of the way that this hatch has been incorporated. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take it out for a drive and see how it really rides. So now, as you see, we're in a different part. We're no longer inside the garage, so let's go ahead and take it out for a drive. This also does have that auto start functionality, which is pretty cool. I mean, so a lot of people don't like it, but I personally like it. I mean, if it could save me gas, sure, but it's just like a little bit. It's probably 0.5 you know, that it saves you in miles per gallon and overall. But driving this X2 feels far better thus far from what I'm feeling. The overall way of the suspension feels going around these corners. Now I know I'm not taking them crazy right now because I don't have them in sport mode. I actually have it in the comfort mode. And let me tell you something, the overall feeling that this feels is absolutely insane. So let's go ahead and make a right here, and we're gonna go take it down US 1 over here next to the dealership. Now, like I said many times before, I had an X2 M35i, and that model felt so stiff. It was crazy. The wheels did not feel right. The rims were a 19-inch design, and these are 20 inches, and I barely feel as much of the bumps on the road. So we're gonna go ahead and put it into sport mode, and let's see if that actually changes up anything. Oh yeah, it does. It shifts down immediately. I'm not even shifting it myself, and it's already knowing exactly what kind of gear it wants to go into for these corners. So let's go ahead and take it down this road really quick. Ooh, you can hear a little bit of the turbo, the blow off. Ooh, that actually sounded really nice. I like that. Wow, this car handles fantastic. Oof. Now we're behind a Taycan, but the way that this car feels, even the paddle shifter, shifting at the right amount of time, it just feels super nice. And the overall body, it doesn't even feel like it rolls compared to what that previous generation X2 felt like. This actually feels phenomenal, and I have to say BMW did a great job with the overall dynamic of what this car felt. They got what was good in the last generation, but they amplified it to 10, and they made it so much better compared to what that generation was. It just feels so much smoother, so much more cohesive compared to what that was. And I have to say, great job BMW. You're killing it lately. Design wise, I love the design of this vehicle, and I have to say, wonderful job. So we're gonna go back upstairs, and we're gonna go ahead and finish off the video up there, and I'll see you guys there. So now that we're back up here, let's go ahead and do a little walk around one more time of this new generation X2 M35i. And I have to say, after driving it just that short amount of time, I have fallen in love with it. I have fallen in love with it. I actually love it more than what I felt when I had my X2 M35i. The overall design of this M35i X2 is just so much more cohesive, like I've mentioned before. The rims look amazing, the front end design looks amazing. This side profile that it has is a nice swoopy sporty design, and BMW killed it. They killed it. They knocked it out of the park, and I feel like this model is going to sell a lot. Even in the 28i version, I feel like this model is going to sell a lot. Overall, would I recommend this? Would I purchase it? 1000%. This is the ultimate driving machine. BMW is known for the ultimate driving machine. Let me tell you something, this definitely feels like the ultimate driving machine. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe onto my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.